We're smart, resilient, and we take care of one another.
But if anything, he's shown he's resilient.
Kids are resilient like that.
Well, some problems are more resilient than others, Joe.
So, what does it really mean to be resilient? It's a word we hear thrown around all the time, right? Well, today we're going to break it down, really get to the heart of it so you can understand it and, use it like a pro. Let's dive in. All right, to get us going, I've got a little puzzle for you. I'm about to show you 3 totally different things. As you see them, I want you to think, what's the one big idea that connects all of them? First up, let's think about a simple bouncing ball. You drop it, it smacks against the hard ground, and then what happens? It springs right back up. It takes that impact and turns it right back into energy. Pretty simple, right? Okay, next, a rubber band. You can pull it, stretch it, you can totally change its shape. But the second you let go, snap, it goes right back to how it was before. And for our last one, picture a tree in a really bad storm. The wind is just howling, and that tree bends. It bends so far you're sure it's going to snap. But when the storm finally passes, there it is, still standing tall. So, a ball, a rubber band, a tree. Did you figure it out? What they all have in common is that amazing ability to face pressure, to be bent or pushed down, but to ultimately come right back to their original form. And that central idea, coming back to your original state after you face some kind of pressure, that is exactly what we're going to dig into in our first section here, bouncing back. So let's put an official definition on this. Being resilient means being able to become strong or healthy or successful again after something bad happens. The key phrase here, the one I want you to remember, is to bounce back. It's not about avoiding the fall in the first place, it's all about what happens after. Now, this is a really important point. Being resilient is not exactly the same as being strong. Think about a rock. A rock is definitely strong, right? It resists pressure. But hit it hard enough and it cracks. It shatters. A rubber band, though, it's not strong in that same way. It gives, it bends, it stretches, but it always comes back. That flexibility, that's the real secret. Okay, so we get the idea when we talk about simple objects. But what's so cool is that this concept scales up in some pretty incredible ways. You can actually see resilience all around us, everywhere in our world. We started with that simple ball bouncing back. Now, let's zoom out, way out, and think about nature. Picture a huge forest fire. Afterwards, the whole landscape just looks gone, devastated. But if you wait, slowly but surely, tiny green shoots start pushing up through the ash. New life begins. The entire ecosystem starts to recover. Now that is resilience on a massive, massive scale. From objects to entire ecosystems, the idea holds true. But maybe the most powerful, the most important place we see resilience is inside of us. So let's talk about what makes a resilient person. I really love this quote. I think it just captures the whole idea of human resilience perfectly. Life is absolutely going to challenge us. It's going to bend us. But resilience is understanding that being bent is not the same thing as being broken. It's that inner power to recover and grow strong again. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, a resilient person sees a mistake not as a failure, but as a chance to learn. They have the courage to ask for help because they know it's a smart strategy, not a weakness. They keep trying, even when things get tough. And maybe the most important thing of all, they hold on to hope for the future. That hope is the fuel that lets them bounce back. Okay, getting the concept is one thing, but using the word correctly in your own sentences, that's just as important. So let's get practical for a minute and see how you can actually put this word to use. There are really 2 main forms of the word you're going to use. First, you've got the noun, resilience. That's the thing itself, the quality, the ability to bounce back. Then you have the adjective, resilient. That's the word you use to describe a person, or maybe a city, that has that ability. Let's see them in action. Using the adjective, you might say, children are often very resilient. You're describing their amazing ability to get over things quickly. Or, after a natural disaster, you could say, the city was resilient, talking about how it rebuilt itself. And as a noun, you're talking about the quality itself. For example, she showed great resilience to the challenges. Or even more directly, to succeed, you need resilience. All right, so we've defined the word. We've learned how to use it. For this last part, let's bring it all home. Let's connect this powerful idea right back to you and talk about finding your own resilience. If you take away just one thing today, please let it be this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets through life without falling down, without facing setbacks, without making mistakes. That's not the point. The goal is to build that strength, that flexibility, to get back up every single time. That is what true resilience is all about.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. Think of a time you faced a real challenge. It could be big, it could be small, but you kept going. A time you fell down and you got back up. When have you been resilient? Because recognizing that strength in your own life, well, that's the absolute best way to truly understand this powerful word. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.